Oh, yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh. Tune in for the show.
Welcome to the Funny Uncle Podcast. I like that that's our choice of like a response each time we do that each week. So anyways, this is episode 32.
32.
We don't have kids yet, but the clock's ticking.
Magic Johnson's number, that's right.
Get those ovaries to work, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Take your Truvada. Hello.
Yeah, Truvada.
Hello.
I found out this week what Midol was. It's a thing to help with cramps. And I just kept going up to every mother at work and being like, "Do you have any Midol on you?" And they're like,
Wait, are you serious? Are you kidding me?
They like me enough there, and I got away with it. So I was
Oh
like,
my God.
But they died. They laughed. So if the bit works, it works.
It fucking works.
Were you
man.
having cramps?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah. It feels like I got like a large hamster in my bowels.
Yeah. You probably have endometriosis, which is like a more violent version of having a period.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why are we so educated and just talking about
I don't
women's
know.
problems?
Thank you, girlfriend. Love you. Thanks, baby.
But yeah, so we got a special guest this week.
Very special.
Very
Very
special
special.
guest. Maybe you've seen his stickers around Southern California.
You might have
Probably.
seen him on every bathroom in Southern California.
You
Yeah,
might have
yeah.
seen him spitting a sign on every corner of Westminster. I don't know.
I don't know.
You might have seen him at an Arco.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Siphoning gas for the mob.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't know who he works for.
No,
you know?
I don't know who he works for. I don't know if he works for the man or God or who himself, but our guest this week is the man, the myth, the legend, Mikey McKernan. Get on in
Give it
here.
go right here, guys.
Hey, welcome to the
Let's
show.
go.
Welcome to
Look
the
at
show.
this guy.
Glorious.
Parker took us in the chair.
Glorious hair.
Yes.
Beautiful. How's that?
Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for being here.
This is
Thank you.
amazing.
I'm really glad to get the purple mic.
Yeah. Yes.
Very tinky winky of you.
Very
Yes,
tinky winky.
Yes.
We also have another gentleman that has long hair. Can you put down your long hair?
My
Robert?
hair?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Just go long
Yeah,
for the
just
Yeah,
just
yeah,
go.
Rapunzel.
just because of you, Mikey. Seriously.
Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Rapunzel.
Oh, shit. You guys are starting a grunge
Fucking
band for
like
sure.
that?
Like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this
Hell
is
yeah.
great.
Nice. I look like a '90s wannabe, like real hard.
Yeah.
Real hard. The
You look
tight
like
hair, the long hair.
Steve Lacy, or what's his name? Lacy, the guy from Alice in Chains. He killed himself. Who is it?
Whoa.
Oh, Lane Staley.
Lane Staley, right?
Yeah. No. He did heroin. So.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Honestly, you look like, what's crazy, you have such a crazy look that could go, and I don't mean like you look crazy, a little bit, but like you look like you could fit music, comedy, movie, like you just have a great look to you. And I think that
Thank
kind of
you.
helps you like on stage too, and I think you know that too.
Especially if I have interest in all those things.
Yeah. Like I really want you to eat like a very healthy portion of soup.
Yeah.
And or cereal right in front of me, so the milk like kind of gets
I
on
want
your
to see
like your mustache
it
a little
drip.
bit.
I want to see it drip from
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I think it'd be really hilarious if that was what the audience wanted. They're like, we just want you to see you eat before you come up,
Yeah.
so we know that you're getting, nutrition.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we want to see you.
Yeah, exactly.
We already talked about this. We were like, dude, what if you just had like a sidebar? It was just Mikey and it's just ASMR and he's eating like alphabet soup. It's just like,
It's so funny because soup is the number one enemy to the mustache. Actually, no, number two, bagel cream cheese. Is,
Really? Okay.
against
I love it, but it's
Really?
the worst nightmare.
I never would think of cream cheese as necessarily being a nightmare.
It is.
What about some thick, fatty curry? I find that some thick,
Some vindaloo, chicken vindaloo.
Some
Chicken
vindaloo.
I don't even know what that is. Yeah, if it's not on the kids menu, I'm not ordering it.
If it's not chicken fingers, you
Yeah.
don't want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a chicken finger man.
It's not chicken teriyaki. I don't want it.
I grew up at a snack bar. I'm like, I'll take a corn dog.
Okay, I'll throw this first question at you. Okay, so
Yes.
I feel like you've been a hustler your whole life. All right. What was your first job? Like, what was the first job you ever did? Like when you were 16 in high school, whatever.
My first ever job was at AMC movie theater.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Did you have a vest?
No,
No vest?
It was polos then.
Polos? Okay,
yeah.
for sure.
Polos.
Okay.
Polos little name tag.
Did you
Yeah.
just sneak in your friends all the time?
No, it was so much fun. 16 years old. I always encourage everybody, like your first ever job, go work at the movie theater. You get free movies.
That's
No
right.
shit.
So
That's
like,
right.
That's true.
And so it's like, if you ever want to go to the movies, you can take them.
Oh, what-
I hear there's like gnarly restrictions now.
Oh, dude, they suck now. I feel like a lot of companies don't even give out shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, but like I remember we got to go like 3 or 4 times a week to go see the movie.
Damn.
So
That's
crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, and we always
Love
got
that.
to like watch the movie the day before it came out because we had to like screen it for all sorts of stuff. So and sometimes you can take your friends to that. Like that was the best job ever.
Dude,
is in
that
movie
sounds
theater.
great. That
16
sounds
years
great,
old, like and I worked at like an AMC 30, so there was like over 100 employees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So it was
yeah.
like, I was in high school and I was like, oh, I got all my high school friends, but then it's like, oh, these are people who don't go to my high school, you know?
They're just
They
doing
don't
drugs in
know
the parking
me.
lot,
Yeah,
you know?
they
Like,
don't know my
you're older than
reputation.
me?
They keep
don't-
putting like white powder on the rim of their Coca-Cola Freeze.
Yeah. It's like, well, I don't know what is it. What is it? It's a pick me up. That's what it is.
It's a pick me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you? So what years were that you were like working there? Do you remember?
He's trying to ask you what your age is
Yeah.
without asking you your age.
I can't remember the year, but I remember Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man came out.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
2001.
That was a good era.
Yeah,
That was a good
Sam
era.
Raimi.
That was a good
That was a
era.
good era of movies.
Yeah, and at the time that was the like the biggest movie in box office history.
Mhm.
Well, like technically Titanic was,
Yeah,
but I mean
yeah.
like weekend wise, like no movie's ever made this much
Like
money
Spider-
in a weekend.
I remember,
Spider-Man.
I remember that shit, man. That was like that had me going. That I remember the day after on getting back on Monday, everybody was like,
yeah.
all the toys, all the video games.
I remember seeing a spider and I was like, fucking bite me, fucking bite me, fucking do it right now.
Do you remember like the I don't know if obviously you were like older, but like
Whoa.
Thank you.
Whoa.
I meant
Gorgeous woman.
because we were like kids, like we were like little kids, and they had like the little Spider-Man hand where you put like
Yeah.
the little web
Yeah,
like
the
shooter
web
thing.
shooters.
Fuck,
And it's just
man,
silly
that was
string.
fun. That shit was so fun.
I remember Silly
God.
String, and I remember getting that, and I was disappointed because I remember Silly String at the time. It was just really oily. It was really
Yeah.
oily,
Yeah.
and it was shoot. I was like,
I would always want the pink silly string for some reason.
like it
That's
wasn't
my
shoot. I
favorite.
just come out like a baby like throws up oatmeal. Like, that's how it came
projectile.
out. It was like fucking like erectile dysfunction toy
Yeah,
for the
it's-
kids for Spider-Man. This bullshit.
Or like Pabst Blue Ribbon. Yeah, beer farts.
Oh yeah,
those are words.
That's his favorite concert beer of choice.
It is.
Paps.
Actually, you know
it's
what?
the only concert beer of choice.
That's true.
That's
That is
true.
true.
Let's be honest.
You would go to Inca Bar a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I
s-
did back in the day.
I was gonna say, like, because I remember
Rest
I
in peace.
don't think I saw you at Inca. I saw you I remember seeing you the first time.
Maybe
Maybe like, what the fuck?
3 or 4 times.
Probably okay. Because
Yeah.
I just remember like at Inca Bar, the choice drink was Pops Blue Ribbon with fucking like 3 limes.
Wait. Pots Blue what?
Pops.
Pops Blue Ribbon.
That sounds very fucking fancy.
Pops
This is
Blue
French
Ribbon.
beer.
Yeah, you made it
Pots
sound
Blue-
French. Yeah.
Pots Blue
Pops
Ribbon.
Like sounded Cuban.
Pops Blue Cuban. Yeah, it's a sex position.
No, he was assaulted by a Puerto Rican, but you know that's probably.
Whoa.
Whoa,
It's
hey,
like digging the
allegedly,
dirt here.
hey,
You're
Like,
allegedly,
hey, he bought me the beer, okay?
allegedly.
Damn, dude. So what was okay? So when you first started doing comedy, what how old were you?
It's all right. I'll be real.
Give us the
Honestly,
layout.
I tried doing it when I was 18 years old.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
I was horrible. I tried to start off with doing Will Ferrell's impersonation of Harry Carey,
Do you still got it?
which is an impersonation of impersonation. No, not at all.
You still got it?
Which is weird because I don't know if you know Rick Ingham from the Comedy Store. He
Fuck yeah.
literally did the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not even
shit.
kidding.
Did you know that?
No.
Okay.
I just hear,
You
he's
tapping
revealed
into
himself
something.
Okay.
on, and then I would quote Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my god.
And so I'm like, okay, these are my first 2 things I'm trying when I'm 18 years old, and it's just full-blown plagiarism.
Mockingbird, haven't you heard?
Haven't you
Yeah.
had?
It was the
Jig on
scene
a-
where it's like our pets' heads are falling off. I would quote both those guys.
Oh
I would
my
do
God.
the whole scene.
That's
to the
great,
T.
though.
It's
Fuck,
yeah,
man.
like I mean, I was like, this is hilarious, this is fun. But then of course, I got older, and I tried doing a contest, and I did a contest at the Ontario Improv. It was called Who's King of the Water Cooler. I got 3rd place.
Shit.
I don't know if
Okay.
you remember Charlene Yee. Do you know who Charlene Yee
That
is?
sounds
that sounds
The
familiar.
40-year-old virgin. She was the
Yeah.
Asian girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Vaguely.
no, Knocked Up, not 40-year-old
I know
virgin.
you're talking about. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Paper Heart.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like with Michael Cera for a while.
Yeah.
Okay,
She's from
okay.
Fontana. So
Oh shit.
yeah,
shit.
yeah. So she was hilarious,
Mm.
but of course she's a tiny little Asian girl going up there doing like Rodney Danger impersonation. Like I'm not kidding. Like
That's amazing.
But it's
Oh,
things
yeah,
like-
she is Charlene.
it's
yeah.
some of the like worst impersonations you'll see, but she was just hilarious doing it. You know what I mean? So yeah, she's killing it. So
Hell yeah.
and
I've
she
always
she won
loved
the
her.
and she won the
she took
contest.
2nd place. I don't even. I see it sucks because I'm like I don't remember the dude who took 1st place because I'd love. His name was Brandon. That's all I remember because I'd love to be like, where the hell is that
Brandon
guy?
Bryan.
Brandon Bricks.
No, not Brandon Briggs. He's a white guy. I just remember him doing impersonations. He did like Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But-
Brandon Briggs is a fucking animal, though. That
Yeah,
guy's a
yeah.
fucking
Shout out to
monster,
BB.
dude. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
That guy's funny.
I got and so when I with 2nd place, I got to do a showcase at the Improv, and then they were like, "Hey, come!" Like guys were like, "All right, hey, we have a scene. Like, come do comedy." And I'm like, "Yeah, right, dude. I'm 18. I still live at home. I have 3 minutes. I'm not going anywhere."
Do you have a car at the time?
A car?
A car?
Yeah. But
Okay,
still,
okay.
like I was like, this is adult world.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to do it, and I kind of was like, whatever. And then I did a lot of sketch comedy, and that's where I created the sticker. And then when I was 22 years old, I went to my first open mic in Burbank,
Oh, that's dope.
Shout out to where we are.
Nice.
Romance
Allegedly.
Gang.
Allegedly.
March 21st, 2008. And I count when I started doing stand-up comedy, when I first did that open mic, because when I did that, I was like, I'm in. This is
Fuck yeah.
forever now. And I knew it at the beginning, because if you want to be hilarious at stand-up, you literally have to do it forever.
Yeah.
Just do it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forever.
The
Like
10-year equation, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
the guys like your favorites, the pros, like the legends, like you're like, man, these guys are so funny, and you're like, how long you been doing it? They're like, oh, decades.
Yeah.
They did a lot
course.
of other shit too. I noticed too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I noticed like I can't think of who it was, but like there was someone I really loved the comedy persona and who they were on stage, and then I found out I was like, oh, they did comedy, quit for like 2 years, did like TV, wrote for a bunch of shows, then came back, started doing it, and then got something else. And it's just crazy because I feel like to be an entertainer, which is really what we're doing, is we want to be a entertainer or a
100%.
performer.
Multimedia faceted.
Multimedia faceted. Because if you're
Multidimensional. You know?
multidimensional,
Yeah.
yeah, got to tap into different portals.
Want to be a little
different
cube,
portholes.
you know? Want to be a little 3D little object.
Stick your fingers in different holes, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But
Multi-holes.
lots of holes.
Lots
And
of
if
holes.
they bite back, then they bite back. And it's, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do.
And then you got to sign that contract. But I just noticed, like, to be, especially in today's age, you have to do like 100 things. You can't just do stand up. You have to do a lot of shit. You have to make your own content. Because I know earlier you're talking potentially you might do a podcast. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's our big thing.
That's
We're not lawyers, so you know,
Yeah.
we don't have a lawyer
Allegedly.
team, so we gotta say allegedly.
Listeners are back. All right, well, let's find out how you do it. Stop talking. Start talking.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Well, it's hilarious because like when for acting, for instance, like I wanted to be like, Jim Carrey's my number one. Like he was my idol growing up. Even like when I was a kid, like my goal since I was 9 years old is to make Jim Carrey laugh. And so I was like, I want to be an actor when I got out of high school. And so when I remember being like, trying to, first start off, it was always like, not so much the most popular question, but it was like, when you're a young actor and you're trying to get into Hollywood, it's like a popular thing is like, what's your dream role? It's like, oh, what would be your dream role? And you're like, oh, I'd love to play this. Today, you should be doing that dream role as a web series on your own YouTube.
Yep.
You're in charge of your own production,
Yep.
and that's where we are today, where it's like, if you want to be an entertainer, stand up, great. Now you got to
Show us that. Show us that
you got to do
can,
podcasting, you got to do video podcasting, you got to be on TikTok, you got to be twitching, you got to put out as much as you
Dude, the amount
possibly
of
can.
twitching that people push that,
Dude.
twitch.
Yeah, I twitched a lot when I was little because I had seizures. I was,
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta bite my lip a little bit,
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, you're like, where's the chat for that?
Yeah, fuck. I was the support group.
They call him soft palate boy. Yeah. You're the softest palate.
That's a great name for an album, by the way.
Soft palate.
Soft palate. He's a musician. He has a band.
We do have a band.
He's good on time. He's good on timing, dude.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Broadway musicals.
Yeah, you do have to do it all, like especially in this age, and it's just like, it's almost, it sucks because like there's a lot of talented people that I know that if they do that, like if it's almost, you have to be able to time it. You have to be able to like have enough time to do that, because if you do, you're kind of like losing, like, oh fuck, well, I kind of want to go see my parents, but it's like, well, I can also do this. I can like work on this. I can do this vlog. I can do this, and it's like, oh,
We were
fuck,
talking about this
sometimes
last night. Because we're in a play right now. We're in a Christmas play.
You guys are in a play?
Yeah.
You guys are cast?
Yeah.
Where?
Out of college. Oh, come on.
That's fun, though.
Easy.
It's our old acting teacher, and she's
Cheryl Tonshi.
Yeah, Cheryl, and she.
She's still stuck in the 60s.
Yeah, still stuck in the 60s, baby.
She's great though. She's the best.
She's awesome, but she like
I had one of
she
those.
like lured us in. She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, I really need some people in bodies, and can you?
Are you guys even going to school there?
Nope.
Oh no, they haven't been there for a while.
Nope. I haven't been there.
They got
I
roped in.
promised myself I was not going to do shows there anymore because I did a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I technically started acting. Was there?
What college?
San Diego Canyon College.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But it's like,
SCC.
but she was like, she lured us in. She's like, come on, guys, can you help me? And we're just like, fuck, yeah, okay.
And
we'll
it's
do
a
it.
Christmas like noir, like who done it. So it's funny, it's great. But last night we were just talking because so we started we picked up the show. Evan, you know how Evan did Gallagher's.
Yeah, you guys got Gallagher.
So
Yeah,
now we got
yeah.
so we got that, and then we got this show going on the 15th, and then there's other shit going on, personal life shit, and we're just like, dude. I mean, you said it. What was it? They're like, oh, I can see why people.
I just see why people stop doing what they want to do, because it's like life is sometimes very like a lot sometimes, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is why people stop. because
Or they just do a lot of drugs.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
they do a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
But like shit gets in
Yeah.
the way, and you're like, fuck, this is why people quit. It's
Mhm.
fucking it's hard to do, but like it's like, oh, if you have a good team, if you have a good mindset, all this shit, you're able to do it, able to push forward. Priorities, you're like, okay, I'm cool.
Like a
You're
good circle. I noticed that because I mean, you've navigated. I feel like you've navigated like pretty much A to Z of comedy. Like you've gone out of state. Have you gone out of country of comedy?
No.
Not yet. But
Yeah.
like I could definitely, as someone, when I think about people who have navigated comedy like from like A to Z, you come up. You're like probably the first person that comes up in my head.
I just wanted to thank you. I just want to say what you were saying, like the number one word for all that, sacrifices.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what my
Yes.
dad tells me all the
Yeah.
time. He's like,
Sacrifice.
you got to make sacrifices.
Yep.
Social life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like whatever you have to do it,
Mhm.
you know? Well, we're lucky today because as entertainers, it's like, well, you have to do everything.
Mhm.
Luckily or hopefully if you have, like that will be not all your time, but like that's what you're doing for your
Yeah.
job. You're
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't have time to like, do stuff what you're saying because it's like I have to edit, I got to do this, I got to
Yeah.
shoot,
Just
I got to
second
write,
shift.
I got to perform, I got to
Yeah.
all that stuff. But I would say I'm one of the bigger navigators of open mic comedy for sure. I'm an old wise open micy, but it's
Dude, because Robert, I mean, we've seen you all over.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much every open
Literally,
mic
yeah.
that I've
literally.
done anywhere, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Mikey's on it.
I love it because, well, for one, I mean, in this city, like comedy doesn't take nights off.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it's true.
especially with the last couple of years, we've everybody's gone through a goddamn shift and stuff and like that. So, but it's still getting the ball rolling. So that's how it is in entertainment business. You're like, wow, there's days it's not like. Luckily, the Comedy Store, for instance, like, they don't have shows. I think like Monday and Sunday, maybe Tuesdays, I forget. And it's like, man, that's like the only reason right now where you think like, okay, well, Sunday you can maybe take it off, but still there's mics everywhere,
Yeah.
there's shows
Yeah.
everywhere. And then of course you got to get out on the road because to really be a real comedian, you have to get out of your comfort zone, your home court, and go out to the real audiences and see like,
Yep.
if you connect.
Go to Arkansas, see if you
Yeah.
can fucking make some
Where have
pasty
you
people laugh.
where have you gone?
I've been to New York, I've been to Boston,
Oh, shit, that's
South
yeah.
Carolina, Colorado, Oregon, Washington State, Nevada, Arizona.
How's the Colorado scene?
Colorado's excellent.
I heard
Yeah.
it's crazy
Yeah.
good in Colorado.
Like Denver?
Denver.
Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a couple little things outside of Denver, but nothing like no Colorado Springs.
My cousin lives in Denver, and he's like, hey, you can come here and do you can stay here and go do your shows. I'm like, okay, all right, cool,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did 11 days. I had 8 gigs. I got paid for like 7 of them.
Oh, shit.
And
Oh,
so,
shit.
Nice.
Yeah, and they got a great scene. So like I say, anywhere you can stay for free.
Yeah.
There's comedy
Mhm.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like wherever you can crash, you're like, yo, you
It's a
can.
punk thing. It's because I know that, like in music they have a similar thing. Like you go on the road, crash at someone's house, and then they can connect you with like certain clubs or certain types of venues. And then comedy is weird because it's like kind of technically, especially now that we've gone and done the outdoor venue kind of open chapter of comedy.
Yeah.
You can do it anywhere.
Oh yeah, 100%. And
It
it's
doesn't work everywhere, but you can do
No,
it anywhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good point. 'Cause-
It gets a
I
little
know.
cold some places in the
Yeah,
winter, you know?
yeah.
Well, it's like we're lucky in California because it's like during the summertime, you're like, absolutely, it's a treat to do
Fuck
comedy
yeah.
outside.
Get a
you know?
beer, watch it. Hell yeah, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, it's so nice. And then of course, obviously last year because we had to like do it outside everywhere. But when it gets cold, you're like, this fucking sucks. You'll show up to a outdoor show, even in LA, and there's like no space heaters.
yeah,
And you're like, people are shivering,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new Shakespeare in the grass.
And,
Yeah,
we were,
exactly.
and we were talking about this earlier, but like you, how many days in a row did you do comedy?
Oh yeah, there was a point where I wanted to do 100 days in a row, like 2018,
And then
19.
you spiraled.
I started at 60. I started at 60, broke it, and then I started over again, got to 80, started over again.
Damn.
And then I did 120.
Fuck.
And
Animal.
so like from like 60, 80, 120, that's like 260 days. There was a point where there was maybe 4 to 5 days off of not doing comedy.
Mhm.
And I was just like, yeah, I love it. I want to push myself. This is how I'm
Yeah.
going to get better. This is just challenges,
Mhm.
but I got burned out. I was like,
Yeah, man.
I was like, I was mostly, there was a little, like, I can't say I was really burned out. The biggest thing was I had so much anxiety
Yeah.
Mm.
because towards the end I was like, I'm not writing anything,
Yeah.
but I want to perform, and I'm going up there being like, I have nothing, and so I would just freak out, and I would just be like, just so like,
Super raw, super raw.
and I
yeah.
got so much doubt and stuff like that. And actually, like I said, it probably wasn't the most healthy thing,
Mhm.
but I loved it because it's like I love pushing myself. Like I said, I love to hustle. I love to, because our biggest thing, it's like you have to be funny no matter what.
Yeah.
If you're funny,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like the doors are going to open,
Yeah.
But, if you do work hard as well, that can, not speed up any processes, but still like, you guys know if you put in the hard work.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I always wanted to make sure like that's never questioned on my, my
Yeah,
behalf.
I don't think anyone for a second would question that.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
you. I think your name gets passed around as far as like, oh yeah, he's the fucking guy
Yeah.
that hustles.
Hell yeah.
He's the
a
fucking man.
I'm a comedy slut.
Yeah.
Comedy
Flat.
slut. Yeah, doing a
Now-
lot of college shows. I bet you are.
I'm not actually.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Oh no, not the ones that are on camera for sure. Yeah.
little backroom casting couch. We actually
Yeah.
have a casting couch in the back, Mikey. If you want to stay afterwards, just
If
just
you-
check it
yeah.
out.
You guys, I did sit on a couch
You
before.
did,
I
you
come
did.
in.
We got
Make sure-
fresh towels.
Yeah,
you
clean
know?
yourself afterwards for sure.
Nice.
What I want to know is the mustache. It is so
Iconic.
iconic.
Yeah.
It's very Mikey.
And,
do you
and
have-
all the open Mikeys, they
yeah,
all know.
Yeah,
They
all the
know
open
about it.
Mikeys. Do you have a comb for it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay.
this you have to
Yeah.
groom it for sure.
Do you can you grow a beard or is it just the mustache?
No, I can't grow a beard. Like it's like right here, it just doesn't grow in.
That's
and so,
crazy.
Well, I started growing a mustache. Well, I realized I can grow a mustache where it started in 2007. So me and my brother were really big hockey fans, and it's tradition in the NHL playoffs that they'll grow out their facial hair for
Yeah,
superstition.
right,
and they don't shave.
Yeah,
until
so
the
it's
end.
like it's always, dude. It's like hockey's the greatest sport. I go all day.
which favorite? What's your team?
Anaheim Ducks.
Hey.
Nice.
So-
Dude,
That's
our
right.
brewery just
That's right.
partnered.
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe not say the name. But
But our brewery just partnered with
Yeah.
the Ducks.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
So come
That
through.
rules.
Come through, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, come on. I'll be there. I'll be their home opener. So So Stanley Cup's like one of the most prestigious trophies to win. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's so fun in hockey to watch these guys raise a cup and they're just grizzled out, missing teeth and stuff like that. It's the
Yeah.
best. But me and my brother, 2007, the Ducks made playoffs, and we were like, we should grow. Well, we can't grow beards, so we're like, let's grow our mustaches.
both of you can't grow
No, we
beards.
couldn't grow beards.
Damn.
Good
So we're
jeans,
like,
good jeans.
yeah, we're like, we'll grow mustaches.
Cowboy jeans.
And they won the Stanley Cup that year, so we had
Oh,
to like
shit.
grow
Oh, that's
mustaches.
crazy.
And my brother hated his mustache, so I learned that I can grow a better and fuller mustache than my older brother. So that's kind
Dude.
of always been like, oh,
It's a good little ego bump.
yeah. And I was like, all right, I got that
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah.
Shit, hell yeah.
And then my old man has always owned a mustache, and so
Nice.
after that, I was like, this is it.
trademarked.
So
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna
trademark.
be one of those guys. What's your ancestral background? And
Oh,
because
it's-
I don't want to say ethnic.
Italian and Irish.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
cool.
nice.
So-
Nice. So you guys hide your problems.
yeah.
hide shit?
Oh
It's,
yeah.
it's
Yeah?
a lot of the
No.
problems are behind that mustache, right?
Yeah.
big time.
You guys got a shed?
My favorite line is you can't tell if I'm smiling or if I'm angry. that was from Reno 911.
It's funny. I remember the first time seeing you, I forgot where it was. It might have been, I forgot where it was. It was a long time ago, but I remember seeing you and I was like,
In the IE, probably, right?
probably. But I
Orange
just remember
County.
seeing like, damn, look at that fucking mustache right there.
Look
Shit,
at that
man.
coochie destroyer right
Yeah,
there.
the coochie destroyer. Fuck,
Yeah.
It's so funny too because in stand up, it's really important to like them to see your mouth.
Yeah.
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 Like, and so I'm very bad that I rest the mic on my lip. I can't help it, and then I have the mustache. So there's times like
It's like a sunshade. You're like, protecting
dude,
the mic.
You brought up that you showed your dad my
Yeah,
clip
I
about I got to open up for someone else's special, and it was fun because I got all 3 camera angles, and then
That's great,
And, you
dude.
know,
That's
thank
great.
you. And so there's like one that's so close, and I could just see myself flattening my mustache with a microphone, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, man! I'm like, I got to get that thing away from my face, you know?
But it's kind of funny that you say that though, because like I feel like your mustache also gives you kind of an ambiguity when you're because people are like, what is he gonna say? What is he gonna do? Because I can't like
That's a
really
good
necessarily
point.
read your face. You
Yeah,
know?
no,
and then when you go big, it's like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah, dude, I actually really like hearing that because it's comics. We think of we think of the negative almost all the time because I'm like, oh man, they can't see it. This is like
And people
Like,
are
as an
like,
audience member, as
fix it.
I will
Yeah.
say, like when you go big, especially we were like staring at the audience, it's just like
It's funny because you have like and I think about this a lot too. When people have like an onstage persona and who they are, like when you talk to them,
yeah.
I remember being intimidated by you as a person because I thought you were brooding. I thought you were like a brooding
Yeah,
character.
I remember that shit.
Because this is you coming there. And I love it because when you come in and you just do like just your,
I was like, oh, he's a biker for sure, man. He's fucking,
a lot of biker bars.
He's killed some bitches or something.
he's a biker with the wrist of a nun. Yeah.
He's got
I
a buck
love
knife
it.
right here, all times.
That's fucking hilarious.
and a paper straw to follow. Yeah.
And then you get up, and then you get up there, and then like
The
obviously,
Jesus bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean
God.
the Jesus bit. I mean, like, dude. I mean, whenever you do, I don't want to say your trademark.
His
but
what?
Well,
His what?
I don't want.
His what?
Well, his
You can say it's
Tattoos?
okay.
It's
It's what I'm going to be talking about for my career for the rest.
okay.
of
Well, you do
rest
this.
of my
You
life.
do this thing called. I'm not gonna do any justice because I'm doing it in front of you. This is so nervous.
I want to give you guys credit for
Go
like
for
this
it.
is like one of the recent podcasts that we've gone so long without bringing up the Boo House.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
There we go. Let me do my thing.
Go for it. Go. Best.
Hold on. Let me get.
Get your hair together. Imagine you have a mustache.
Okay. All right.
Be more white.
Boo. Okay. All right.
But the joke that cracked me up was like, you're like, what's this is my impersonation of your voice too. What's an American's favorite tea? Liberty. Boo.
Dude, it's so funny that you guys say I'm brooding because and when at first it was like when you said that I was like, oh yeah, because I'm like so anxious every time.
Exactly.
So I'm
Yeah.
pacing. I'll
Yeah.
pace right before I
Yeah.
go up, and it's especially at open mics because I'm trying to work on something. And it's like the whole thing of like when you go out on the road, you get to you love it because you get to do material that works. You get to be funny, but then when you come home, you're like, "Fuck, man, I have no confidence in this new stuff." So you're like, But when I would go up on stage, I would be kind of brewed sometimes because I would always convince myself like they're not gonna like this catchphrase. Like it's gonna annoy
You
the
say it on
shit out of
stage
people,
too.
dude.
Like you guys aren't gonna like this. You're not gonna like this.
And I'm not kidding you. I've been going out on the road. I've been doing longer sets, and so many people have been coming up, multiple places, multiple cities. People come up to me and they're like, "Dude, I hated it at first, but then you won me over." And I'm
Well,
like,
you
"All
just
right."
you just do it enough times where it's like anytime you do it, you're like, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
dude.
Yes, yes, I get to hear it.
Well, when it works, it's so much fun. You know, because I have so much material about when it doesn't work, and so when it works, I'm just like, "Oh fuck, can't
I
say
saw
that."
you do a set. Fuck.
It's sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
it's funny when it doesn't work because you see the crowd and they're trying to figure you out. They're like, wait, what
What's
did
he
you
doing?
what did you just do? What did you just
Yeah,
do?
dude, especially old people. Old people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what the fuck did
When I
just
show
do?
up and it's older crowds, I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Here we go.
They're like, why is he?
Really hyper for them.
What
This
kind
is the
of
same reason why I don't have my daughter in the house anymore. She's acting erratic.
what kind of like did you always do that, or what kind of like started you down that?
No, I
that
never
path?
did it. I never did it. I've just always been weird, obnoxious, and like make weird noises.
Yeah,
And so I would
we
just
can
go,
relate.
"Boo,
Wait, Frank. Before you even got here, what was the thing you were doing earlier? Just do it.
What was I doing?
You know, he was like crying like a little kid that hurt his wrist. I like a roller
You have
skate
to do
party
it.
or something.
Are you a professional or what?
The really unlikable kid. The really unlikable kid that nobody really wants to help, but you feel bad for.
Like he was bullying you, and then he tripped over, and then he wants all the sympathy now.
You don't even know if he's like, "Are you crying?" You're like,
Just making noises.
Yeah.
This is the Paleolithic era.
Yeah.
So like, did you just like fucking around
I
one
just
day?
made weird noises with my friends because I'd always be obnoxious.
So great.
And then I would tell bad jokes, and then I would start using that, and they're like, "Oh man, you should do that on stage." And I said, "Absolutely not. That is hacky. Like that is, like I'm gonna be stuck to that. Like people are if it's like if you and I knew this too.
He's
Like,
a psychic too.
It's
That's
a
crazy.
curse. Like if you seriously get big with the catchphrase, like I'm gonna get heckled. Like they're gonna heckle me all the goddamn time.
yeah.
Like remember Dave Chappelle? Like he walked away because people would show up and or he would show up. He would just start yelling, "What?"
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, "I can't even do
Rick
my
James.
shit."
I'm Rick James, bitch.
He's like, "I can't even do it." So I'm prepared for that. But then of course I started doing it on stage, and then people love it.
Yeah. It's great.
That's what it comes down to, man. Is the people love it, and then
Well, the goal of it too, the evolution of the act is like, oh, this guy's got a catchphrase. Oh, this guy doesn't really like doing the catchphrase.
that's an angle
hilarious,
too. That's
That's
an angle to it though.
Exactly. And so, plus
It's meta too.
Like, the first time I ever got on Kill Tony, like Luis J. Gomez was a guest, and he was like, he's like, "You gonna do that for an hour?" And I'm like, yeah, I hope so. And then you think about it, it's like, man, like I've done shows, I've done longer sets where I'm like, it dies, like they're over it,
Like after
They're
30
totally
minutes,
over it.
maybe after 30 minutes.
Sometimes it's like a minute and a half. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, now I get to talk to you guys.
It sounds kind of like similar to I don't want to go off on a tangent, but like with bands too, if they get big with like one song that they don't really particularly care
Big
for,
time.
and then it's just like you have to keep playing it every night. And there's like
I love the story of MGMT. How they were like their first album was like it was almost like a parody album.
Yeah.
Have you heard this? Like how they're like, oh, we're gonna make music that just is like the most trendy and popular music, but we don't like this music. And then of course they fucking blew
Oh
up.
yeah. And they made what is it? Electric Feel, and everybody was like,
Yeah.
this is the fucking greatest shit ever.
Yeah, then their next album, they're like, no, this is who we are. And everyone was like,
No, we don't want that.
We don't want that.
We don't
Go
like.
back,
We don't
man.
like you. We like what you did. No.
So-
No.
what's your favorite musical act
and
or band?
Yeah, there's
Stop.
Dixie Chicks.
there's so many, but
Oh,
the one that I was
couple,
like,
couple.
there's one that I was like, when I first heard it when I was about 20 years old, I was like, I'm gonna like this for the rest of my life. And that was Bob Dylan.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
But
nice,
like my
nice.
favorite band is called Gogol Bordello,
Okay.
gypsy punk rock.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
bitch.
Go
Where are they from?
From New York.
Nice.
But the lead
Nice.
singer's like Ukraine. They got an accordion dude from like Russia.
Wait, what?
Zane.
Yeah, like
what is that?
the
Zane, can you look it up?
like
Gogo
the-
Bardella.
Gogol Bordello. Like the violinist is from
Gogo?
Austria. You know, the bass player's from Brazil, and then the drummer's like Dave from California. I'm not even kidding. Like,
Is it like ska? Like what kind of punk
Gogol.
is it?
There it is.
Whoa.
It's
It's
literally
like folk punk.
it's like no, it's
shit.
like kind of skateboard punk, but then it's
Okay.
like you got like accordion and violin and
Okay.
you know?
Do you remember this?
Like, do you ever hear that song, like, start wearing purple? That was, like, their most popular song.
Interesting.
So, yeah, they're a
Holy
crew.
shit.
He's got, like, a huge, like, drum that he bangs on. He throws it on the crowd. He jumps on top of it. He's smacking the mic in the drum.
Do people get pretty
that's
wild?
Yeah, they love him.
Fuck yeah.
And I've seen him, like, they played on my birthday one year in LA, and I was so hyped on them.
Hell yeah.
But I always love asking these people the question. And the greatest concert I ever saw was Radiohead.
Okay.
They were way better than the album. Like,
Okay.
I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like,
Fuck
so
yeah.
I
Like
asked
great
that.
performers, or like they had like media with it too. That,
Music,
like, everything.
performers, like, I'm like, this is the, like, and it was like,
That's-
this is the
that-
greatest concert I've ever seen.
That's the best is when you go to a concert and it's better. It's
Yep.
better, and you're like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yep.
this is what it's all about. This is what it's
Yeah.
all about. I love it.
greatest rock star I ever saw was Karen O.
Okay.
Oh,
Karen O.
God.
Really?
She fucking rocks.
Damn.
And it's fun because, like, well, I always like, you know, I grew up playing hockey my whole life. That's why I'm a big hockey fan. And so, like, I'm just always been a performer, and it's always fun being passionate. Like, you know, you love it, and so you're passionate about it. So, like, you know, now you're like, all right, you know, I'm an artist and I'm a performer. So I love to look for other performers or artists who really, like, are so passionate about
Yeah.
it. And man, seeing Karen O, like, I got into Arcade Fire from seeing him perform on SNL. Like, I never saw him, and I don't even remember what song it was, but he starts, like, I was like, dude, this guy fucking loves this. And he smashed the guitar, and I'm like, oh my, and I became a fan instantly.
Hell yeah.
After
That's what's
that.
up.
Dude, there's something about stage performance too of music that's just totally a different fucking, completely different fucking
Yeah.
animal. There's this band, I don't know where they're based out of, but I think the singer is from Puerto Rico. They're called Pink Louds. I actually I went to a show at Continental and ran into Daniel Zambrano randomly there.
Really?
And he was there, and as Daniel's like, oh, I fucking love this band, dude. He was like taking a video for Orange County Stand Up for the music. But they were like,
Come see this band. Come see this
No,
band.
literally,
There's open
literally.
mic afterwards.
It's open mic. But they were like really like out there and like different, and then it's just like because I don't know, he's taking me to a bunch of metal shows,
Yeah.
and we see a lot of that side of stuff, and then there's like a whole alternative side to music too, like this crazy alternative, and like there's just all these different types of performers, and I noticed that like who they are on stage. It's like the same thing with comedy. It's like they're like that entity on stage. And sometimes they play into that too for
Yeah.
music.
Oh, yeah.
Music is a little bit more mysterious. They can get away with a little bit more
Big time.
without telling you,
Well,
you know?
Well, the number one thing as any artist, you know, musician, comedian, dancer, actor, whatever, you know, it's your voice. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you have to find your voice.
Yeah.
And there's so many people where it's like you see it, you're like, oh yeah, I know that. Like, or I know who you are, I get it, and you love it because you connect to it. And that's so important. And when you find your voice, then you got to find your audience.
Yeah.
You know, and that's so it's like so that's where, and I always tell people that, like, especially in comedy, because I'm like, man, you gotta, it takes years to kind of figure out like your voice. I always say like I have an act, you know, because I do a catchphrase and I do jokes that are obviously, you know, they didn't really happen, they're not literal, and of course that's like, oh, but stand-up's supposed to be the real and vulnerable and true stories and stuff like that. So it's fun that you can have, you know, the whole thing, but you can still develop like an act, you know, and you do want to have an act because if you're, you know, because it's like, oh, what's your voice? And it's like, oh, is there a brand to it? Like, can we be like, oh, this guy's this, and that, and his audience is those, and those, you know? Like I always tell comics, what I was going to say is like Justin Bieber, like he makes, you know, music for 14-year-old girls when he first started. And it's like, you're going to be successful there because that's where the most money in the entire world is for some reason.
Yeah.
Yep. You gotta know your audience.
That's true, man.
Seriously,
And once you find that voice, man, fucking just go, fucking hammer it.
Well, that's what's fun about podcasts too for comics because this is such a good tool, like alternative to work on that voice.
Yeah.
Because you are still talking to an audience, you know, we're not trying to perform, but you're still, you know, you're still talking to an audience and you're still being honest and, you know, being yourself and shit.
And
like
riff,
that,
we riff a lot on here too. Like I feel like this podcast is more like I feel like the three of us, what people tell us for this show that we get a compliment about a lot is our chemistry.
Yeah,
and I think we are very yes and we love to bring people that we know are yes and into that chemistry and then just kind of like go from there. Like we don't like, you know, we could, yeah, sure, we call it a show, we want it to be a show, but we don't want to like overextend the fact that oh, this is set, this is what we do, but like keep it loose, keep it authentic.
well, you got to.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think people like that.
And I've noticed it too, like especially going on stage now. Like this has, there are times where I'm on stage where I'm like, oh, just keep it going, just keep it going. Don't be scared. Like there's no risk involved. There is a risk, but it's like it's in your head kind of. You're like, oh, there's no risk here. So it's like oh, okay. Well, how do I keep it? How do I take what I'm doing here on stage when it's like 20 people watching? I'm like, okay, like let's activate it. But
he's
it's like
getting very crowd worky and he's getting fucking good at it. Dude.
I'm trying to open up
Kinda
another
hate him a
box.
little bit.
I'm trying to open up another
great.
box because it's like I'm trying to tap into something
I love
else.
it. I love crowd work.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people, comics, can see it as like a lazy tool.
Yeah.
But it's not.
How's it lazy if you're interacting though, you know?
The audience will always know when you create funny right then and there.
Yeah.
And that will always give some of the bigger laughs. Like, yes, like you're like, man, I wish I can get these biggest laughs on my material as I do with the crowd work. But the audience knows, like, yeah, that's your poetry. But then it's like crowd work. It's like,
what's the organic?
You know, like, yeah, you
That's
just
your poetry.
Yeah,
Holy
you
shit.
just made this like right here and there. And I'm telling you, man, it's a very valuable tool to have because the audience is gonna love you because you're like, you know, oh, this guy's
'Cause it's
real.
you.
Like
It's
it's
you.
who he is. He's doing this right now. Plus, you go to somewhere on the road or you're doing rooms, they're gonna be like, nah, fuck your poetry, you know? And you're like, all right, well, now I gotta freaking slash into all you guys, you know? But then if you have those tools, they will love you for it, you know? Like you go out on the road and do road rooms, they love crowd work because they're like, who are you? We don't know you. This is us. And then you're like, you guys are like that. And they're like, shit, we are like that. I love you. You should live here.
You get the key to the city now.
Yeah.
Mikey McKernan Day right here.
Well, it's so funny. I love talking about how, you know, comics, you know, there's usually no other performer out there where it's like you will show up to a spot and they're like, we love you. You know, they'll carry you out. You're like, you're the funniest person in the world. And then you'll go to another place and they'll look at you and be like, the fuck?
Yeah. Well,
You know,
actually
that's
might
so
kill
true.
you.
Yeah. And you're like, dude, you'll be up and then you can go right back down the next day.
I think
dude.
that's
And
what's
you
so
have to be
amazing.
prepared
That's what
for
gets
that.
to you sometimes too, man.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
keep
That's
it
so
cool.
amazing. You'll
gotta keep it cool.
You'll get this high, and then immediately you're like, oh yeah, that is pretty good. And then you go to the next one, you're like, oh
Yeah.
fuck.
And no, it's good that you say it's amazing because like that's where your like, you know, your true strength to pursue this industry really lies. Because if you can get over that and understand that and be cool with that, you're gonna make it. Because so many people, it's like, dude, I don't get it. I'm fucking killing. I'm on TV. I'm like this, but this crowd's not laughing at anything. And it's like, dude, how like there's no other people who go through that kind of stuff.
No,
you know,
because you've seen big people like.
I try to think about it.
You know,
like,
like,
Oh,
you've
dude,
seen big people.
we saw some big people over the pandemic eat a big old dick.
Oh,
yeah. And that's
Absolutely.
and
It
it's
happens.
humbling though. It's
humbling.
And it's also humbling knowing like, oh, I can on my tax form say I'm a comedian and then still go eat a dick as a comedian. Like I can still, literally. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the worst and best business to
And
do.
it's very humanized. I think like
Yes.
I love music and I love like other art forms and stuff, but I think comedy is one of those things where it's like live comedy. It's like it's very humanizing because it's like it's there or it's not.
it's human, dude.
It's there or it's not,
Mhm.
and it's just the comic
Very
and the audience.
very visceral.
You know?
Very
very
just
visceral.
like
And we were talking earlier about like I mean he's my favorite comic now when people because I honestly I don't consume a lot of comedy at all and when people ask me who's
That's
your
a lie.
fucking favorite was that
You go do comedy all the time.
that's true you're right. Give me
I only say that just because I
Yeah,
just say
yeah.
that because it's Because like I don't watch that many specials.
Yeah,
when they come out
right?
and stuff, you know.
But you're around.
Yeah, but it's like I'm like what? But I'm like
because you're in it.
Yesterday I was 8 hours at going to multiple open mics. Like I'm fucking
There
watching
you go.
comedy. You know.
But you know, how people are always like, oh, because if they find out you're a comic, oh, you know, and I'd be like, you know, Bill Burr, like Bill Burr's my. But now it's Brian Holtzman. Brian Holtzman. Like, oh, I've never seen him before. I'm like, yeah, probably not. And you can only see him at the fucking Comedy Store, and that's the only place you can see. Just like Rick Ingraham too, same thing. Like people don't know who Rick Ingraham is because they haven't been at a Comedy Store, but it's like that's what they do. That's what the fuck they do. And like when you're there, and it's cool when you witness that because it's like watching lightning strike, and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
holy shit.
I would even say that too about the greats like Bill Burr. You know what I mean? Like we're so lucky that you know we live in an area where like we might
be
have
here.
a chance to see him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's working. He's like working on stuff that not everybody gets to see, and it's so much fun in the process. You're like, wow, that's one of the greats in the entire world right now, and he's struggling because it's brand new stuff. But when you're young comic, it's like, dude, you're like, this is so fucking valuable.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
I love this so
Yes.
much. And then I've seen Chappelle a couple times, and watching everybody gather around. You're just like, dude, this is so crazy because it's like I've never seen everybody. Like Andrew Dice Clay's taking a seat to watch. It's like fucking Dice. I've never seen Dice in the OR unless he's on stage. And so it's like, man, it's so fun, and I'm so privileged. Like, dude, I get to see that kind of stuff and see them work, you know, because they are so huge. But then again, you're like, man, there's some of these underground guys you've never heard of, and it's like, dude, Brian Holtzman, Jamar Neighbors, you know, it's like, dude, like, these guys are so far out, but it's like, you know, they'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Even because someone who's big, I would say she's like more on the mainstream. Annie Letterman's like, I feel like she's already there, but like I think as far as the general populace knowing who she is, like dude, we saw her at the fucking Comedy Store and
couple weeks ago.
we were weeping in the back because she does heavy shit. Like, she talks about
and like
molestation
the
and
audience,
shit.
she lost the audience, but we were in the back just cracking up. We were cracking the fuck up, and she came up to us actually after and was like, "Oh, thanks for laughing, guys. Like, what happened to this crowd?
Are you kidding me?
You fucking kidding me? These are good jokes." Yeah,
I kill for you. I kill for you.
But then again, she's like, and she's grateful for that because she's like, damn it, like at least I know. She's like, oh, thank you guys, and you're like, oh yeah, we're comics, and she's,
God damn it,
No,
get the
you
fuck
guys
out of
laugh
here.
at
Come on our show, you know, like
come on our show. Annie Letterman.
Annie,
Come on our show.
Come on our show.
We already made it here because we got Mikey. Mikey, we practically made it.
Yeah, we already made it.
Mikey's here. We practically made it. All right?
You made it in the open mic scene.
Fuck yeah.
Well, it's so fun because, you know, in the comedy world, Annie Letterman's very, you know, known.
Yeah.
You know, Jamar Neighbors is like well known. Even Brian Holtzman, you know what I mean? But it's so funny because it's like, you know, there's not so much stand-up comedy on television these days. You know, there's the specials, like, you know, Comedy Central's barely alive.
Kinda lit.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's no late night, you know, I mean, like Colbert, I think.
But they did that Vax dance, but I mean, that was that was a little weird.
They did a what?
Yeah,
Exactly.
They came out with like dancers were like syringes, and they're like doing like a whole little song and dance
Choreography
about
and
it.
everything.
Yeah,
What was this on?
this was on Colbert's show. Yeah, it was a little funky.
Yeah, that's true. Like no one's really putting stand-ups in it. Like Jimmy Kimmel doesn't do that, right? Or Jim.
No.
It's like
any of the Jimmys.
if there is any like because I'm like Corbin, I thought Corbin had stand up at times, or even like Jimmy Fallon would have stand up at times.
Yeah,
if they do put on a stand up, and it's literally because it's like somebody's getting bigger. You know, and it's like we got a young guy, and we want to like his album's coming out compared to like. No, we're gonna scout new talent. We want to get people exposure.
it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I think like what would be the thing for that then? Like if you're gonna go forward as whatever,
it was everyone says Rogan podcast.
Yeah, Rogan's the new.
Rogan's
Rogan's the new like late night like.
Yeah.
Well, he's always been like and I've always will have a conversation where there was before the pandemic, probably like the last 5 years, the Comedy Store was the most busy it's ever been in its history, and a lot of people say is Joe Rogan, and it's like Joe Rogan is the most important people in comedy. Most people have said that, and you can always give credit to that because it's like he's a comedian, and this is his home club. He just has a ginormous reach. He's got to so many people.
Yeah, and
as comedians in the world of stand-up comedy, like it's unfortunately bottom of the totem of show business, and it's like. It's the most richest, 100%. Because if you're a comedian, you're going up there and you're getting laughs and you're the center, like you're the funny guy. Like it's the best. But it's like you're the poor, like it's the poorest ones. Like it's not the most revered. But when like you guys know it is, and so it's like whenever we can get like if stand up comedy can be cool, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then that's like it always helps all of us.
So
So
getting bodies to show.
yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
everybody's
Nobody
into
goes
it.
to anything
You know, like
anymore.
everybody's like so excited to go see a person. You know,
Mhm.
go see comedy, go to the comedy store, and go see the live podcast shows. You know what I mean? And so.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like podcasts have been such a high five, Like I remember when they first started, everyone's like, yeah, who's going to listen to that? It's like, doesn't matter, dude. Just get one, get
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
and work on that voice because you want to start to somehow draw audiences. Because now they're like, you look at management and, representation. They're like, you got a podcast? Like, what's your following?
Yeah.
When I first started,
This guy over here is like, what the fuck are you guys? I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. We're
Yeah.
just a
Like-
couple of boys just banging.
Just throwing hot
pumping
dogs
fronts.
in the center.
Yeah.
I don't know
when
what
I was
happened.
trying to be an actor back in the day too, they always, the question was like, does your social media following count? And the casting director's like, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Casting directors would say that because they need to find talent. But
Yeah.
agents, producers,
Can you
they're
fucking
like,
act? Is
yeah,
their
like,
job.
yeah.
But then agents.
we're not
Yeah.
even talking to you unless you got 100K because it's like,
Yeah.
so and so in their living room has 200K, and it's like
Mhm.
so it's so insane today. I don't even know where I began on that rant.
But we're here,
No, we're on board.
I'm
We're
getting
here.
it, though.
Well, 'cause we were literally talking about this the other day. How I feel like, and I'm worried about it too, is like maybe so you got Brian Holtzman, you got Rick Ingham, you got Bill Burr, like real comics, right? Then there are people that we have seen that are like buying a studio and buying an audience and shooting
yeah.
a special
Yeah.
and doing shit like that.
Because I guess Amazon's starting to do that.
I know, dog.
Yeah, started.
So now we're going to be competing with
Wise
like
old open Mikey.
yeah. So now we're going to be competing with like TikTok stars or
Yeah.
old dead Vine
Yeah, so it's
stars
like-
or just like people that you wouldn't see like in a performance.
I just think it's weird because you like obviously if someone's on TikTok and they're trying to
They're funny in that medium.
they're funny in that medium and it's like okay, can you switch it over to on stage? And it's like I mean if you can, but it's not it's the same but it's almost not the same.
Mhm.
It's like it's different format. It's like it's
Yeah,
live.
I got
It's
so much to
it's-
say
I'm
about
sure
this.
you
it's,
do.
it's
Go
just
off,
like
go off,
it's,
go off,
it's,
sis.
it's
Go
not
off,
the
sis.
Go off,
it's
sis.
hard to because it's like this is like it's a craft, like it really is a craft, and it's like if you don't work at it,
Goddamn
you're gonna
right it is.
yeah. if it's a craft, if you don't work at it, you're gonna suck. And it's
go.
like
Here we go.
No, you're absolutely right.
He's brooding. He's
Yeah,
brooding.
yeah, he's brooding. And it's just like if you're not working on this craft, it's kind of like why are you
Why are you here?
Why are you here? Like
Yeah.
like why are you here? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you might have 1 million followers, that's great, but
Why do you have a makeup palette tutorial with cameras on stage?
why do
the
you have a ring
fuck?
light? Why do you have a ring light on your face?
Yeah.
man?
And how
Yeah.
the fuck did you get Jay Leno? How did you get Leno?
They are there because the fucking industry puts them there.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Really sucks because it's like, okay, you guys are the gatekeepers of like comics getting real shit,
Mhm.
but you're signing TikTokers,
Mhm.
influencers
Mhm.
because they have a following. I get it. You know,
Yeah.
the agents,
Money
the
will
agent
flow. Money will
is
come.
supposed to sell you. Your manager helps you get your product. The agent sells that product. And so it sucks because they're like, oh, we love you. You know, you're funny. You got so many followers. Then it's like, okay, well, we got you on our team. Till then, go do stand-up comedy. And you're like, you guys are supposed to be like, in charge. You guys are like, show business. You've been doing this for I don't know how long. And, you're telling them to go try this craft that takes years,
Yeah.
And then I try to give them credit where it's like, okay, if you have these people who can sell tickets,
Mhm.
they got to do something. And stand-up comedy, unfortunately, is so accepting and open for people with followings, influencers, YouTubers, TikTokers to be like, yo, I do comedy now, or, come do my show where they won't even
I
do
do comedy
comedy. They'll
now.
do Q&As.
It's almost,
They'll-
it's almost
they'll
like
do-
an after-school program. That's how like the
Yeah.
industry looks. It's like, go to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
special
Go to the
after-school
YMCA.
program.
and it's a fucking insult to stand-up comedians who
Yeah.
deserve those opportunities.
Mhm.
Like, there's so many funny people where it's like, man,
Yeah.
that guy deserves a manager because he would go out there and fucking make, he would crush.
Yeah.
But they don't care because all they care about is, your following. But luckily, the last few years, comedians have been taking the fucking
Yeah.
taking it back. And
Yeah.
being
I
like,
love
we're doing podcasts. We'll fucking get on TikTok. We'll
We
put
got
our
our own fucking
We'll put our
space.
stand up on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, because I know a lot of comics are doing really well with their straight stand up on TikTok.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
Jay, you know who Jay Light is?
Yeah, Jay Light's
Jay
doing
Light's
great.
great on there. Ramsey
Yeah,
Badawi. He
Badawi.
put a couple stuff on there.
Handren, CV, him and Jay
Yeah,
were doing a
yeah.
show together. He's doing really well on TikTok.
And it's
so-
like I love seeing because I'm like, yes, here we go.
Yes.
This is the real shit. This is
Yeah.
the real shit. This is the real shit.
and that's where it's like, man, as comics, like we should be entertainers of all the aspects. You know what I mean? I have been like, unemployment's over, so you know, comedy tour's over. And so,
Hey, bro, I was writing it out too, bro. Don't
Yeah,
even worry.
man.
I was,
So now it's like,
it was great.
yeah. Well, that's why I was like, everyone's like, dude, I see you killing. You're going on the road. I'm like,
This
well,
set
thank
is
you,
sponsored
thank
by
you,
the
unemployment.
CDC.
You know, I'm the most rich I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
For real.
Getting paid
It was
before I
nice.
get to the show.
Dude. And so, but now it's like, all right, well, I watch a lot of YouTube. Like I can't, I watch so many vloggers. Like I can't deny that I do it. And I've like, oh, I want to do it, but I'm like always been ashamed, but I'm like literally, I'm going to like start doing stand-up comedy
do it.
vlogs.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
I'm like, next time you guys see me, you're probably going to be like, this motherfucker's camera. Like,
No, and honestly, that's the thing is like, it might seem somewhat like in my mind, I always say corny. I'm like, oh, it's corny to have a fucking camera, but it's like, no, it's not. It's actually pretty cool because you end up watching as the viewer. You end up watching it. It's like you just do.
brainwashed, dude.
It's just like you just do. You just end up watching
I
it.
watch these vloggers, and you know, they're like, there's whatever, they're silly. They found their voices, and they're kind of goofy, but they're like, they're entertainers.
Yeah.
But it's
Yep.
like they're not, like they're not funny people. You know, like they have
No.
sense
Yeah.
of humor, but they're not like
They suck down noodles
Yeah.
with ASMR cameras and shit.
Yeah.
like
they're
that.
not in the
Yeah.
funny business.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so it's like, so that's where it's like, as comics, like, man, we should be able, and we know like Andrew Schultz has obviously been
Yeah.
extremely
Yeah.
successful doing
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's like, yo, it could actually really happen. So I'm like, all right, I'm dedicated to that.
It'd be great, something that you could do, like it's something that I would watch too,
Yeah.
is if you going out on the road, and obviously it's like you gotta go to public with your fucking thing and your fucking little joystick, little camera, is you doing like a road vlog of you going to the venues.
Oh, dude, it's like,
I would watch that.
I'm doing it. I've gotten, because I follow a one YouTuber, and he goes like, he started doing Disneyland stuff, but then he started going out on adventures like outside. Like he did like a bunch of Route 66 videos, and then you go
Oh,
to like
shit.
old Western mining
Yeah, I've seen you
towns.
post stuff like that. Yeah, I
And-
like seeing that.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Well, when I first was watching these, I'm like, man, when I go do stand up, now I want to go fucking see this rock, you know, or go see
Yeah.
this like hotel or some dumb
Yeah.
shit, you know, just because I'm watching these videos. And so as like a comedian, I'm like, man, like I would love to be like, yo, I'm in this town, I'm going to be doing this gig, talk about the gig, talk after the gig. But then again, before then, it's like, go look at dumb stuff and just be stoked about it.
Do
you
some
know?
boo-haws in front
And
of the world's
honestly-
giant rubber ball, you know?
Dude, exactly. And
And honestly, it'd be so dope because you've already done stand up for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like
You know who you are.
your view on the world is so like unique. Was also with like also your voice too. It's like, oh, the stuff that you have to say on it is more. It's more like wisdom based. So it's
No,
like and it's like you know,
absolutely, because it's kind of like and I'm gonna like talk like a lot of basics about like going to open mics and doing this, because I'm mostly gonna be like, all right, well, I gotta do a stand-up vlog. I'm gonna be taking you
Yeah.
guys to an open mic, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna like talk about like, I'm gonna go Boomtown on Monday. I mean, I don't know if I'll have the camera by then, but it's like, I'm gonna talk about like, oh, this Boomtown Brewery mic, take shots
Oh
of it.
yeah, that was
So it's like,
that
it was
was
that one's
great.
good.
so it's always like, like I want to kind of like give a little support to the places, and then obviously explain like what the open mic's like, and then get a little vibe of it,
Business-wise, that can help you too. People might actually like be like, oh, these
Well,
guys
and
promote,
it's like, but I'm not saying like, okay, this is how you got to do stand-up comedy. But then I'm like, yo, I've been doing it for a while, so it's like,
Yeah.
yo, this is like my experience. I'm really just here to help you guys, like not like help you out, but like just giving you like my advice,
Insights.
my experience and stuff like that.
And people like that because
Yeah.
like someone
Shit.
living in fucking maybe like Guatemala is like, oh fuck.
100%.
They're eating their black beans on little white bread or something.
they're just like, fuck it. This Mikey guy, he's fucking.
He's fucking really good. That's what they eat there.
Mama, boo, ha,
We're gonna hear boo-haws all
You
over
just,
the
you
world.
just never know where it connects, and that,
You're gonna
like,
get
that's the beauty of
Egyptian,
it.
like Egyptian people, boo-ha! Like, literally, you're gonna have everybody, dude.
In the Suez Canal.
Can't wait to have like a special and like have it different languages.
Boo-ha! Everybody.
Everybody.
Zane, what do we have for time, real quick?
55.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay, we do a segment on here. It started off as Bye Bitch. All right, it's technically like a venting session. All right, you could do a bye bitch, and it's transitioned into.
Okay, good. I got one.
Oh,
and I was
great.
like, we didn't get to
There's-
talk
there's-
about it.
okay,
and I
no,
got
yeah.
one.
There's a real quick. There's bi bitch.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I might know what you. Yeah.
There's bi bitch. There's a try me bitch. There's
why
a
bitch?
why bitch.
Like why bitch?
And then a
Hi
hi
bitch, which is a
bitch.
positive thing. Like something good that's happened
Were
too.
you-
Because that was Zane's inspiration. Because we were doing bi bitch. He's like, oh, let's have some positivity. Because I'm
love
Zane
it.
and I'm interesting. You know?
It's like I thought you comedians would be more joyful.
Are you guys gonna do make it worse?
We
Yeah,
could
we're gonna
make
do
worse.
we're gonna do
We'll this-
afterwards.
We do it after.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought, well, bye bitch is kind of like the last thing, huh?
But no, he's right. He's right. He's right.
Yeah. You want to do make it worse
We can do-
first?
okay, we'll do that. Because you have an improv background, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and.
Okay.
Yes.
My man.
Okay.
So we,
Yes, and didn't take me anywhere. Go ahead.
as I've heard, it's a cult. So make it worse is a little improv game. We start out with something very mundane, super simple, like usually innocent, works out nicely with the suggestion, and then literally just make it worse, and just make
And
it
you,
worse.
and you say make it worse, and we kind of like whoever
You just
has
add on
something.
to it. You just somehow make it worse.
And we do it for a
then-
minute.
For 1 minute. Zane, do you mind timing?
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
And Zane, do you have a suggestion?
I know that I said that you should do make it worse, but no, I don't have a
Oh my
Okay.
You know what?
goodness!
All right.
I'm glad I broke up with you because this is not working
All right,
anymore.
let's pick a place in the world. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Guatemala.
Guatemala. Okay, perfect.
A kid in school in Guatemala.
Okay. And Zane, go ahead.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
A kid in school in Guatemala. Make it worse.
He's always had the run since he was born. Make it worse.
They had no toilet paper. Make it worse.
It was from his mom's cooking. Make it worse.
His mom cooked up his dead grandmother. Make it worse.
Oh my god.
They did peyote with the grandma before they cooked her up. Make it worse.
Oh my
Their
god.
grandfather was eaten by the grandmother. Make it worse.
It's a turducken. Make it worse.
They call it the family milanesa.
They mixed in some cerveza with it. Make it worse.
They put tahini on the rim. Make it worse.
The kid was actually going to UT school, or no, UTI. No. What's the online technical school?
DeVry?
Yeah, DeVry.
Make it worse.
Kellogg just bought 1,000 shares. Make it worse. Magic Spoon just got a sponsor for it too. Make it worse.
5.
The kid doesn't know what cereal is because he's lived in Guatemala his whole life. Okay, make it worse. Sorry.
It's called Grandma's Bits. Make
Yeah,
it worse.
Grandma's Bits.
All right,
We'll do one more. We'll do one more.
one more.
Yeah, that's it. It's just a quick.
Let's not do a place. Let's do like something less than
Just
that.
like an instant scenario.
Okay.
Okay.
A cheese sandwich. Just cheese, like a grilled cheese sandwich.
A grilled cheese.
Where?
Okay, grilled cheese.
Is there just a grilled cheese?
A grilled cheese.
A construction worker is eating a grilled cheese
Okay,
sandwich.
okay.
Make it worse.
Okay. Ready, Zane?
You ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
It was blue cheese. Make it worse.
It's the cheese that he left in his garbage in his lunch pail in his work truck. Make it worse.
It was dick cheese. Make it worse.
He told his wife, "If you make me one more goddamn cheese sandwich, I'm gonna wallop you." Make it worse.
Make it
He's a
worse.
construction worker.
Make it worse. His wife is Mexican and works as a medical assistant. Make it worse.
His wife gave him two slices of bread and a glass of milk.
His wife actually beats him too. It's a self-fulfilling cycle.
His wife is the one that does meth on the job. Make it worse.
His wife is his boss. Make it worse.
The boss sells a mess. Make it worse.
He calls her the day he called her his ball and chain. A ball with a chain fell on him.
The wife works at a sex shop. Make it worse.
She sells steel-toed boots at the sex shop. Make it worse.
She sells a product called
5.
fuck.
She's a white supremacist. He's Mexican. Make it worse.
She sells grilled cheeses at the sex shop. Make it worse.
Okay.
Seashells by the seashore. Okay.
Yeah, that's fun.
good.
That was good. That was a good. Quick one.
I like that.
Let's
shit.
make it worse.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a game that's already existed.
That one's scary.
Right?
It is.
It is.
It is. It
Right?
is.
'Cause you're- Should I say the worst thing possible?
Yeah,
I haven't done that one in a while.
All right, then we gotta do bye bitch.
Bye, bitch.
But do you guys have a bye bitch?
I do.
We technically. Oh, yeah, I know you do.
Yeah,
baby.
You have a bi bitch.
Yeah. Or try me bitch.
I have a try me bitch.
Okay,
Yeah,
can
I
you
have
do it this
a try
way?
me.
Is that cool?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm gonna do a. Wow. I'm gonna do a why bitch to myself.
Why, bitch?
Yeah. So I went to go drink at Yard House the other day, and
By yourself?
huh?
By yourself?
At the
No,
bar.
my girlfriend works there,
Okay.
so she was giving me some
Oh,
hookups.
nice,
by
nice,
yourself.
nice.
Yeah.
By myself, babe. Yeah, basically by myself. And so afterwards, I went to the local McDonald's because Daddy was hungry, and as
you're at Yard House. Why'd you eat at Yard
because
House?
of the
I was hanging out with a coworker.
I was hanging out with Haley. You know what I mean? No, the kitchen was closed, so I couldn't order anything. So I was like, "Fuck."
My girlfriend couldn't decide what she wanted to eat.
Yeah. There it is. She was like, "Poke nachos or chicken salad, whatever." And so I went across the street to go to the McDonald's, and as I pulled in, I saw this homeless guy. And as he saw me pull in, he got up and he had a limp and he started walking towards where I was going to order. And I have never ordered more fast in my life. And I was like, I went up to the drive-through window and I was like, yeah, I like a McDouble with no pickles. All right, thanks, bye. And I saw him like, I know, I saw him.
He had a limp too. He's taking his time.
He was going to come up to me and ask me, and I could see him from the back. I was like, fuck, I got to go McDouble and no pickles. And then as soon as I took off, he goes like this. He goes, oh. So I'm just gonna say, why, bitch? Why, Frank? Why'd you do that shit?
That's fucked up. Yeah, I hope karma gets you.
Yeah,
right in the ass.
Yeah,
right in the
Don't
ass.
forget to pickle to the fucking little chili hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Extra onions. Yeah.
So I have a why bitch. At Gallagher's actually. So it was Robert's first time hosting the show.
Oh.
What happened in the first 10 minutes?
The entire power grid for like
The whole
whole
street.
block, the whole street turned off.
First time I've ever hosted a show. Like, I mean, I technically hosted a week before, but yeah. And I'm like, I'm telling Keith Carey, I'm like, hey Keith, you still want to do 20 minutes? And he's like, yeah. Okay, so I was like, okay, great.
Okay to do without a mic?
Yeah. So that was bad enough, and I hadn't done a show in like 2 or 3 months. So I'm like, fuck. And there's like a bunch of people from our work that were there. So I'm like, I got to do good. My ego.
Mm-hmm.
So I go up, I'm doing my stuff, and actually I should preface this beforehand, there was like this like crackhead that there's always one. There's always one at Gallagher's. If anybody's
This guy was excessive though.
he was pretty bad.
He had
was
the
pretty
movements where he was like,
This guy looked like he was at Woodstock 99 for Limp Bizkit, but he never left that era. He just stayed in that era since then.
Documentary.
Yeah.
Was in it.
So I was talking to him outside, or I shouldn't say I was talking. I was like trying to run through my set outside, and he kept coming up to me, talking to me. He's like, "Hey man, there's comedy in there. There's fun. Yeah. You're gonna miss out. Yeah. I'm like, I'm a comic. I'm gonna be up there in a second."
He saw another one of his kind, somebody talking to themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, fuck. I'm just like looking through my notes. Oh no, I shouldn't do that joke. No, fuck. Anyway, so he like, I don't know what he had, something in his hand. And mind you, the lights went out, right? And there was other comics that are just sitting on the patio, and he just randomly threw something. I think it hit Kelly.
What?
Actually, Kelly Brown was sitting out there, and he hit her, and then she made like a little yelp, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone was sitting here. I'm like, dude, you were standing here for like 20 minutes. What the fuck?
He's like, I'm sorry, I've been in a fifth dimension too long.
Yeah, and then I go up, and then he was like heckling Frank, he was heckling Robert, and then he was like
offered me meth.
In the bathroom?
Well, this is how he did. Because he kept telling me jokes. Right? He's like, I got a joke for you. Blah, 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 something about abortions. I was like, and then literally at one point he's like, hey man, follow me. And he did like one of these, like a comical, goofy, like a head throw back and then a slip in. And he's like really fucking cartoony and goes to the bathroom. And I definitely want to do meth with him.
That wasn't even the why, but this is all the preference. Okay, so after I was done with my set, I was sitting out on the patio. Mind you, the lights had finally come back on, the power finally came back on. But I see him walking with this lady, and they're walking back to this car that the front door is open, and he pushes the lady out of the way and proceeds to try and get into her front seat and drive, and her friend is in the car, and then she like grabbed him and like threw him, but then he got in the back seat like they were friends or something, but it just, the way it looked, it looked like it was confusing. Like he was trying to rob them or something. It was just really weird. And then he had like a cup, like a big gulp, and he just like threw it out the window and they just took off. Why, bitch? Why, bitch? It's Huntington Beach.
The things you see in comedy, truly. Like, where else would you see that?
I was gonna say why. It's because it's Huntington Beach.
It's
HB, baby.
the Florida of California.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
The Jersey Shore of California.
Yeah, like it's like the missing like part of their sock where like your like toe comes out a little bit. That's Huntington Beach.
But also, I didn't know this. Apparently, there was a double homicide down the street after we left. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Might have been him.
Catch us this coming Tuesday at Gallagher's at 8 o'clock. Please come through. Free comedy.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West.
It's the Wild West.
Yeah.
I got a bye, bitch. I'm not gonna say the person or the venue or anything. Just the scenario. So I did a show that I was pretty hyped about recently, and I go and I like to talk to comics. I like to, and I'm sure like it's like you know how it is when you talk to comedians for the first time. You because it's like especially you don't know anyone then you hey.
It's like when dogs meet each other, you gotta sniff each other's butts.
Yeah, no, a little bit. And there's guys that are like, oh yeah, fucking, you know. And then there's people that are really friendly. And then there's this one gal I talked to, and I was just checking in. I was like, hey, you know, anything, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, and I won't say the name, I won't say anything. There's a list of 6 or 7 people that it could be. All right. And I was like, oh, hey, actually, we were thinking of booking you in the future. And yeah, just let me know if that's something to do. And then her reaction, just kind of like, what? Cool, thanks. And I was just like, what? And I was like, I just trying to say hi. What the fuck? Like, she acted as though I said something about like her low cut top. All right, and she wasn't wearing one. She wasn't wearing. But I'm just saying, she's acting like I said something about her low cut top. And then literally later on,
you saw her change into the other one because you were looking through her binoculars.
Yeah. And I was holding my girlfriend's hand at the same time too, so it was so confusing. So after the show, I was like, hey, good job, you know, blah 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 blah, and hey, yeah, thanks for having me. And same thing, I was like, hey, you have a good night. Yeah, hopefully we'll do a show again. She's like, okay.
Oh my god.
And I was like, you're an actress that nobody knows who you are. Like you fucking like it's just I can't stand it's an LA thing. It's only in LA. It's like, who the fuck are you? I don't remember. I've never seen you. And after I leave here, guess what? Just like my memory of you,
bye, bitch. Get the fuck out of here,
dude.
Right? The ego is crazy.
Well, it's just you're an idiot. Because it's like you don't. So you don't know who these people are going to become or who they are. You know, it's like, man, you want to be like, you want to be able, like, you want people to want to work with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We were going to book this person.
You are your own business card.
We were going to book them. Now
we're in a talking business too. So it's like, man, your reputation is so damn valuable, and it sucks because it's like, man, you don't know like who's talking or what's happening. So it's like,
yeah, the Funny Uncle podcast was going to book you. So fucking.
But at the same time, it's like
missed out.
If it goes around, they're like, yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, they're hilarious. But they suck.
Nah, they're not.
You know?
They're not. From an objective point of view. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying how much that says about your show, but
there you go.
It's always funnier when someone else does it.
Fuck, so you got a buy bitch?
I got a buy bitch. My buy bitch is the motherfucking slotted open mics in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Now I want to know who you thought I was gonna say. It's not a person.
Probably off the pod.
But yeah, I just I mean, I've been doing stand-up. I've been doing open mic comedy in LA for 13 years, and this is the worst it's ever been. There's been a little conversation started, and I like joining that conversation. I usually don't like to get on any soapbox about something, but it's you know what slotted is like they created an hourly open mic, and you pay $5 to perform for 9 other comedians. It's very convenient if you've been and I was like, I try to give credit to everything where I'm like, yo, if you've been working your ass off for over 5 years, you've gone to the bars, you've waited 4 hours to do 3 minutes for 2 people for 1 laugh, like, okay, that makes sense. Like, yo, you want to have a life again, you want to go do that. But it's the worst training ground for newer comics. And I encourage all newer comics, do not go to any $5 slotted open mics. I'm not going to name places.
So supportive, right?
Some of these places are also like, oh, we're doing shows. So come to the open mic and we'll consider you for shows. If that ever happens to you, you do get considered for a show. You're still required to bring audience members.
Still bring her.
You pay to go to their open mics to be considered for the shows. Now they're saying they want to make money off of your friends. So these places can fuck off. Bitch.
Damn, that's a good point.
They're garbage. It really sucks because it's.
I think I saw the post that you're talking about.
And it just sucks because like when I first started, we were going to bars and there was actually opportunity for real audience members to see us, and stuff like that. Like I talked about that boom mic, open mic, where it's like there's real audience members there. It's free. Like you can go do different places, but we're supposed to like, oh hey, congrats, you're opened up a new place and you're just taking more money from all these comics and like it's. And
the argument is like, oh, we're just trying to pay the rent here. I'm like, oh, that's crazy because you have a really nice car.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, but then it's like, man, if you really wanted to do stand up, we would go to, people would go to bars and establishments and, be like, because like even 1 item minimum at mics. You're like, yeah, we have to support the place, so they allowed us to plug this damn thing in,
Yeah.
So I don't.
I always have this. I did a couple mics in San Fran, like maybe like 2-3 years ago, and I remember thinking, man, this is so cool because as soon as they got off stage, it was like they're able to switch off. Like, all right, stop analyzing the joke, be supportive. Because they were in the room and people were going up there and they were giving you the laughs if it was funny, and they weren't giving you the laughs if it wasn't funny. And it's like, why can't that be translated here? You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's really hard to. Because sometimes I get in my head, I'm not gonna lie, but like, I think the benefit of that I'm learning now is I'm able to turn it off once I'm off stage, because I'm like, okay, cool, I'm giving you my attention.
It's good.
Yeah, and it's
like
like
the pace of the city, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so many people are like, yo,
Don't want to fast track.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, like I said earlier, like doesn't take nights off, like every industry in this town, you know, like, and everybody's going so fast and they got to get it so quick, but it's like stand up is like,
Takes time.
you don't get rich quick on stand up.
Nah,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
And it's cool too
That's
because it's
true.
like when you earn your stripes, you earn your fucking stripes.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Yo, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Continue. Yeah.
No, as it.
I didn't have anything important to
fuck.
add.
I'll give you a kiss later.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to plug at all? Any shows coming
Where
up?
can they find you too?
Where can they find you?
MikeyMcKernan.com for gigs, at Mikey McKernan on my Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'll be.
That was a motorcycle
I don't know
taking
when
off.
this will come out. I have a gig tomorrow. I don't know. Will we make it by then or no?
Zane, when will this episode come out? Tuesday?
Well, then
the,
don't-
the audio's out on Monday, and
yeah.
then the video.
Well, this last Saturday, I performed in JR's in Valencia. I'll be in Arizona, October
Hey.
22nd.
October 22nd.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Desert Rose in Glendale, California, Arizona. Fuck.
I know. Is that confusing when
Two Glendales, goddammit.
Two
I fucked it
Glendales, right? Yeah.
I should have looked at my gigs before that, but no,
It's okay.
Dan, I feel like they're gonna have you on again. I feel
Yeah,
like there's like
this
so
is
much
great.
still
Yeah.
because I didn't
I can
talk
flap
about
my
like,
jaws.
acting and fucking talk about like improv and
this
shit.
was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we were super excited to have you.
Also, we need to name him.
oh fuck.
Yeah.
we do. We do.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, all right. Gabe is,
Girth Brooks.
I'm Titty Roosevelt.
and I'm John Wang. The last guest we had was a female. She called herself John Benet Rami. All right.
That's pretty good.
no, right? We also had someone called themselves Cleopatra. All right. So
Jack Tickelson, which
Jack
is
Tickelson,
Alex Farvar.
Farvar. Yeah. So historical, influential.
Could be anybody.
Could be anyone.
Anybody you want.
Mark Wang.
Mike Wang.
Mark Wang.
Like Mike. Who's
Mark Twain.
Mark
Mark
Twain.
Wang.
Oh, Mark
Twat.
Mark
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 Twang.
Twang. Mark Twang. Mark Twang. Fuck. Mike Twain's pretty good.
Mark Twain is
Mike-
pretty good.
I'm not very good at this.
Mike.
It's okay. No. We'll think of something.
I could have been
Judas
a lot funnier.
Yeast. Judas Yeast.
That's pretty good.
Judas Yeast.
You want
Judas Yeast.
You
Yeah.
want Judas Yeast?
That's fitting because you're
I
a
look
music,
biblical.
music guy. Keep it biblical.
Okay.
Like
All
Judas
right.
Priest, Judas Yeast.
We by here announce Mikey McKernan as
Judas Yeast.
There we
Fuck
go.
yeah, guys.
Fuck yeah, man. Thanks for having
yeah.
fucking coming through. Thanks
you,
for having
guys.
us on your show, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
on
So
your
what was
show.
your show, Mikey?
Yeah.
And also, your stickers are all around Southern California
Yes,
and
yes.
around. It's Mikey McKernan's not funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
So-
he's
so-
hilarious.
So check out for those because they're somewhere. They're all over the place.
Yeah,
I see them
you'll
all over
find
the
them.
place.
I
You'll
should have
find
brought
them.
one. I didn't.
Fuck you.
I fucked that
You
up.
son of a bitch.
But
Always.
yeah, we always ended it the same way.
Mhm.
Know your worth.
Know your worth. Know your girth. We'll catch you guys next
We'll see you
time.
next time, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
Fuck yeah.
All right, that was the end of episode 32 with Mikey McKernan.
Frank, stop playing with your penis.
Stop playing with your penis.
Stop
Put
playing
your
with
Put your
penis
penis
away.
away right fucking
Okay.
now.
Put that aquapina away.
Yeah.
So yeah, so just to check in and remind you guys, we got a couple of shows coming up, couple of dates.
Couple deets.
October 15th,
Woo,
next
big day.
Friday.
Big
the
day.
big
Fox.
day.
Next Friday.
The big
We
day.
are doing the live podcast
And comedy show.
and comedy
Comedy
show.
show.
Where?
At Third Wheel, Hollywood.
Nice. All right.
Come dressed and come too.
Well, undressed.
Or come undressed. Whatever
Yeah.
you
If
like.
that's your costume, we know
Yeah.
how Halloween goes out
Let's
here.
see some
Yeah.
painted nipples.
Yeah, let's see some. Yeah, let's see some fucking painted nipples for sure. Let's see some tallywaggers. I want some perfection. Aha! Yeah, that's right. That's what I want.
And then also come check us out Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday at Gallagher's.
Every Tuesday
Robert's
at
gonna be
Gallagher's.
hosting.
Yep.
That's right.
The power will be on. The power will
Yes,
be on.
Gallagher's in Huntington Beach, not Long Beach.
Not Long Beach.
Huntington
Yes.
Beach.
Huntington Beach.
Show starts roughly at 8:15. We got
Yep.
some great comics. This
Great
week.
comics.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Beta
Yes.
Boiz will I don't know if all of us will be there, but 2 out of 3 of us.
Two out of 3 of us will be there.
Yeah.
And also, be sure to check out our YouTube videos. We keep getting flagged on YouTube.
Yes.
Copyright issues. So that's something that's kind of happening.
Can we blame Zuckerberg for that?
Yes, definitely blame Zuckerberg.
Let's blame Zucks for that.
Yeah,
fuck
him and his
Zuck.
fucking lizard.
Or that Indian guy.
What?
What?
Yeah,
You better have a name. You better have a fucking name. You better have a specific name.
Sunal. Yeah. That Indian guy. He actually got out of jail and actually decided.
That sounds like an antidepressant medication.
Yeah, but he actually got out of prison from murdering Robert Kennedy Jr. and decided to be the CEO.
Oh, you mean Sirhan?
That's what I said. Suhan. And now he's.
Sunat.
You had a lazy lip. That's why.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little dyslexic. There's a little dyslexic. Lazy tongue.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. These are the people's trauma.
The point is, folks,
just like the Mexican folk do. Okay,
watch
now,
our shit.
Watch
our shit.
Yeah, watch our shit.
Don't flag our shit.
And just so you guys have an idea of the schedule, we'll be dropping the audio podcast on Mondays. And then the video will be up on YouTube on Fridays.
Yes.
Okay, because we need to stretch.
No. The video content. The after hours.
After hours.
Okay.
Zane.
Which we're going to be calling the show after the show.
Yes.
It's going to be that's going to be released.
The
Yes.
audio from the podcast will be up on Mondays.
Yes.
And then the video from that podcast will be uploaded the subsequent Monday.
Got it.
With the new audio from the newest or latest episode.
Got
and
it.
On Fridays will be the show after the show, which we're going to do right now, where we watch things and react to them.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Thanks, Daddy, for leading us through that.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Took the words right out of my colon.
Yeah.
So fix it.
You know what I felt like right now? You know, like, have you ever seen those parents with their kids on a leash? I feel like Zane had us on a leash right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
Sometimes
you might
I like
actually
to be
see
on the
us on a leash at the show.
Oh, maybe.
So,
Yeah,
maybe,
tune
possibly.
Tune in.
Yeah.
So, and thanks for tuning in, guys. This is episode 32,
32.
and we'll see you guys next week.